off the top of the first inning for the Cowgirls, shortstop number 5, Kylie Naomi. Center fielder number 9, Cheyenne Factor. Catcher number 25, Julia Cottrell.
Kennedy hits a batter. That is going to be the 6th she's hit this season.
Not the first time Emily's had to work out of a jam in the first inning. She is.
Second baseman
This
number
happened
14,
several
Harley
times in
Petty.
her start. She really the only time now, I guess, was the St. Houston State midweek game where she worked pretty effectively after getting spotted 8 runs. But a couple of her starts, she's had to work around some traffic in the first inning.
Strike call to the first lefty she will face today, and Carly Petty, the cleanup hitting second baseman. Petty, a junior out of Moore. 296 average, a home run, and 2 runs driven in. No score, 2 on, 1 out. Changeup misses low. Aggie defense for you. Trinity Cannon in third, Coco Woolley at short, Rylan Wiggins at second, Mariana Torres at first, with Haley Lee behind the plate. The outfield left to right, Shea Ackerman, Star Ferguson, Morgan Smith. Aggies are in their all maroon uniforms with white letters and numbers. Breaking ball misses low and out to the left-handed hitter.
Yeah, maybe my favorite uniform combo, Matt. I like it. The block font, or all maroon. It's a good look.
The uniform game has stepped up this year. 2-1 pitch, fouled off. Oklahoma State in black pants, white tops with black piping, white letters and numbers with the thinnest black around them. So we're gonna, my old eyes are gonna have to struggle a little bit here.
Yeah,
We'll make it work.
I have to send my new doctor's appointment bill to our friends in Stillwater to get my prescription updated.
Fouled off. More on Emily Kennedy, true freshman, hard throwing lefty, 6 foot 2 inches tall, out of Lake Creek High, hometown the Woodlands. Definitely going to be a key contributor for the Aggies this year in the circle. Jams are inside, it's fouled back onto the net.
Yeah, we've seen Emily not be afraid to go inside so far, Matt, against this OSU lineup. You know, Petty was hitting in the 9-hole Friday. It moved all the way up to the cleanup spot today. As head coach Kenny Gajewski's made some slight changes in his lineup from game 1. But I like what Emily's doing. She's working in and out, continuing to try to work these hitters inside.
2-2 pitch, fouled off, just barely got the bat on that one. But a nice at-bat by Petty. I did not see Kennedy throw this last weekend, but a couple Wednesdays ago at Sam Houston, I was impressed with her composure. The Aggies, frankly, pretty sloppy defensively, and not bad body language at all out there from a true freshman pitching in college.
I thought she was really phenomenal in that 4 2/3 that she worked.
Out of the zone, ball 3.
You know, against SFA, would have been last Saturday. You know, the Aggies got behind 3-0. She comes in for Kayla Pointer and really only gave up 2 runs. Struck out 5 in relief. Really her first kind of key relief appearance for the year.
3-2 pitch, foul back. She's making good pitches, but you really have to credit Oklahoma State. They have fouled off, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 7 2-strike pitches from Emily Kennedy so far in this inning.
Yeah, that's 25 pitches for Emily already in the first. Our girls have done a good job putting up a set of competitive ABs early on.
Another 3-2. Popped up, shortstop. Coco Woolley, a step onto the grass, now takes a step into the dirt and makes the catch on the infield fly for out number 2.
Yeah, Kennedy goes right back in line we talked about, Matt. Jams Petty with looked like a screwball in the inner half.
Right fielder number 11, Caitlin Carlisle.
So 2 down here is Caitlin Carlisle, the right fielder, a left-handed hitter. Carlisle hails from Purcell. Off the end of the bat, rolled foul towards the edge of the Aggie dugout. Carwile on the season, 200 average. Not a lot of action. This is actually her first start. 2 hits and 10 at-bats. One of those hits has left the yard. 3 lefties in the Cowgirl lineup to face the Aggie left-handed pitcher. Change-up out in front of that is Carwile, and the count's 0-2.
Emily battled back right there and threw maybe her best change-up so far in the first inning to get Carwile to pull the string there. This would be a good rally back from the freshman after the walk and the hit by pitch. She can get out of this jam.
2 pitch, grounded at the shortstop. Woolley on 2 hops. It kicks off of her and right to Ryland Wiggins, who picks the deflected bounce and steps on second for out number 3. That's not how you draw it up, but hey, we'll take it. It's still a 6-4 in the scorebook.
Just your typical 6-4 put out to end the frame. Really nice job though, Matt, by Wiggins to be right where she was supposed to be. If you're catching the replay before we got out of this inning.
Wow. All right, Aggies and Cowgirls scoreless as we head to the bottom half of the first inning here at Davis Diamond. This is Aggie softball from Learfield.
In case of an emergency, please ask an usher or uniformed officer for assistance. You can find the first aid room located on the third base side of the concourse.
The 12th man this Aggie softball season is presented by T-Mobile. T-Mobile, your hometown network and official partner of Texas A&M Athletics. No scores. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. And in the circle for Oklahoma State is 4-time All-American Miranda Elish, senior righty out of Crown Point, Indiana, transferred from Oregon to Texas, transferred from Texas to Oklahoma State. Another elite pitcher in Kenny Gajewski's arsenal.
Yeah, Matt, and the one thing with Ellis so far this year, just looking over her numbers pregame, career 186 OBA. Opponents are hitting 302 this year, and the big thing's been control. She has a wider range of pitches. She can throw a curve, drop ball, rise ball, really can elevate it past your hands with the velocity that she has. But her walk numbers are up, and the hits she's allowed are way up compared to what she did last year, or in 2020 at Texas. So it's going to be a interesting matchup here for the Aggies as Coco Woolley steps in.
And the first pitch from Elish is a strike to the Aggie true freshman shortstop. What a start for this youngster, Coco Woolley out of LaPorte. 425 average, no home runs, and 4 runs driven in. Strike 2 to Coco. Coco coming into today has hit safely in 10 of the Aggies' 12 games this season. In fact, the Friday game where the Aggies just got the 1 hit, that snapped an 8-game hit streak for her. Swings at one out of the zone, and it is strike 3. First out of the Aggie first inning.
Yeah, nice job by Ellis there to start Coco Woolley away and just kept working away from the freshman.
So 1 down, no score here in the first. Here is the All-American Haley Lee. Senior out of Kingwood, steps in with a .594 batting average, 2 home runs and 12 runs driven in. This is outside from Elish.
You know, Haley was 0 for 3 the other day. She still leads the conference in hitting. You know, no need to panic.
Yeah. Leads the Aggies in average, runs, hits, total bases, and walks. This one's outside. And, you know, I think this number will even out a little bit as the pitching level increases, but I'm very impressed with her so far, Tyler. Through the season, 13 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, and Friday was really the first time where Haley struck out. I believe it was the first time she's had a multiple strikeout game all season. This wasn't where it didn't feel like she was as locked in as she had been.
That one breaks off the plate and misses, and the count's 3-0.
Because the thing with Haley, we talked to know the first weekend was how well she was taking pitches off the plate away that she may have swung out a year ago. I'd like to see her go back to that approach. Thought she had a really good last at bat, though, when she flew out to right for the final out of the game on Friday against Kelly Maxwell.
3-0 pitch fouled off, swinging away. If there's anybody on your team that has a green light on 3-0, that is it.
Yeah, and you don't want to not stay aggressive against Elish. That's the one that's kind of been the game plan, it looks like, so far this year when Elish has been in the circle. Teams have been aggressive with hers. And we said hitting 302 against her in her 4th start of the year.
That one is a high strike called. Counts 3-2. It's Kaylee Young, by the way, behind the plate. Tatum Stelting at first. Lyndon Baptiste over at third. So Elish has battled back to fill up the count here with 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Aggies and the Cowgirls. Inside and low, ball 4.
Yeah, Matt Ellis just missed, like with a off-speed pitch in the inner half, just missed the inside corner. But a 14th walk of the year for Haley gives Mackenzie Herzog a chance to hit with a runner on.
So 1-on-1 out here is the first team All-SEC designated player Mackenzie Herzog, the senior. Stands in with a .257 average, 3 doubles, a home run, and 11 runs driven in. Swinging at the first pitch, foul ball left side. It will carry into the Aggie bullpen, or actually just shy of it. And the count's 0-1. Pitch is outside. 1-1.
Yeah, so far Matt Ellis working away the 2 of the 3 lefty hitters in the Aggie order will be followed by Morgan Smith, another left-handed hitter. You know, I thought Herzog had a really good first AB, drove a line drive to the shortstop on Friday. She's really attacked this opposite field gap the last couple games.
Good pitch on the outer half of the plate to the lefty, 1-2. Yeah, and she's been kind of a slow start to the year. But in her last 10 games, Tyler, 8 hits, or hits in 8 of her last 10 games. She's driven in 11 runs in the Aggies.
Yeah, that's the
10.
number that pops out to
Yeah.
11 RBIs.
Checks her swing on a pitch down and out, and the count is even.
And I think they've been, at least by my recollection, big RBIs. I know she had the bases clearing triple in the SFA win last Saturday. But it seems like when times come, when the Aggies need a big hit, Herzog's been the play. She has delivered so far, at least being able to play runs.
Haley Lee's at first, no score here in the bottom half of the first inning. Checks her swing, but it is a called strike 3 anyways on the outside part of the plate. 2 strikeouts now in the inning for Elish.
Yeah, it looks like an off-speed pitch that Mack was hung up between in, low and away, and Elish gets the call. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Miranda Elish.
So 2 down, and that will bring up the cleanup hitter, Morgan Smith. Smith, a left-handed hitting senior out of Lake Jackson. 367 hitter, home run, 9 runs driven in. Fouls the first pitch back onto the net. First of 2 today for your Aggies. They will face Texas Southern following this. Oklahoma State has already played a game today, beating Tennessee State 5-0. Cowgirls beat Tennessee State 9-0 Friday, and then the Aggies 1-0. So they've yet to yield a run in this tournament. Morgan fouls this one high and deep on the left side. It'll make the stands.
Yeah, good cut by Morgan there, just a little bit late on it, but a ball elevated in the zone that she had tried to tack to left field. And Matt, you're talking about Cowgirl pitching. It's all been Kelly Maxwell in the circle. She's the one kept everybody blank on the scoreboard
Yeah.
so far.
which misses off the plate just barely 1-2. They also added another transfer, and we'll get to the transfers later. Morgan Day out of Illinois State. She threw, I think she threw the first game of the weekend.
Yeah, you're right, she did.
But it's been Maxwell's thrown the majority of the innings for Oklahoma State. This is Elish's first action, I believe, of the weekend. Well outside, and the count evens. Comes inside on that one, and Morgan's able to foul it off here to the left.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Morgan to fight that one off. Got jammed, was able to punch it foul and live to fight another day. You know, Matt, the thing about Elish's numbers, opted out in 2021, still in 2020, just 16 appearances, struck out 96, but she's had a pair of years where she struck out over 200 hitters.
Wow.
So she can really rack up the Ks.
That one misses off the plate. And that is ball 3.
Good eye by Morgan, not just in the river, but Elish, like we said, is continuing to work away to the Aggies' left-handed hitters.
That's a nice pitch, too.
It was a very nice pitch. Very good eye from Morgan to lay off. She doesn't chase too many pitches out of the zone.
Payoff pitch with 2 outs. High, ball 4, came across above the letters. So 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Aggies have a runner in scoring position for Trinity Cannon.
You know, Matt, through these first 4 plate appearances, the one thing that, Coach Evans told us in the pregame is we swung at too many pitches out of the zone that weren't strikes. You can tell the Aggies have done a lot of, maybe their little homework heading in today of establishing the strike zone where they want to hit pitches that are in the zone, not chasing pitches out of the zone. Sounds simple, but a lot harder to do when you get a pitcher like Miranda Elish in the circle.
There's Cannon. That is a strike. Trinity, a sophomore out of Forney. .333 average, has started every game at third base for the Aggies. 3 home runs, 13 runs driven in. That both numbers actually lead the team. This is down. That one drops off the table. Count evens at 1. Haley Lee at second, and Morgan Smith at first.
Yeah, I think if you would have told us Trinity Cannon led the team in home runs through 12 games, we would have said, okay, but Rylan Wiggins being tied with her is still the one that's a little bit of a head-scratcher.
There's the pitch. That one is a called strike. They're going to throw down to second, but Haley's back in plenty of time. Count is 1-2 to Cannon. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. There's a 1-2 pitch. Foul back. That might have been the pitch to hit there.
Yeah, Trinity got one over the middle of the plate. Was just a little late on it and got jammed. Got a big gap, though, kind of left center. The way the Cowgirls have shaded the Aggies all weekend, they've almost been shaded to the opposite field. First time we've really seen a team do that to Texas A&M so far through 12 games.
That one misses off the plate and down, and the count evens. So the Aggies are working the counts here again against Elish. They've not been able to make really any good contact, even on any foul balls so far. But showing a lot of patience to this point at the plate. 2-2 pitch. Down. Ball 3.
Yeah, just like OSU did in the first inning against Emily Kennedy, the Aggies have pushed Miranda Elish's pitch count up. That's 27 pitches. By my count, Matt, that's the 3rd straight full count she's worked here.
So the runners will be moving on the pitch. 3-2. Hard ground ball past the shortstop into left center field. That will score Haley Lee. Into third, safe is Morgan Smith. And the Aggies take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Matt, you just said it. The Aggies have continued to fight at the plate. A really nice job by Trinity Cannon to extend the bat. She got a pitch that she liked right on the inner half of the play that she just was able to launch past the shortstop, Kyla Naomi, into the left center gap. That's where Trinity Cannon has continued to attack all season long, is that kind of up the middle, left center gap, but she just sends one right back where it was pitched, and the Aggies lead 1-0 on their first base hit of the ball game. And you can see right there, that's a play up in the zone, elevated, that she just shoots past Naomi. And really nice base running there by Morgan Smith. Gone on contact. The Aggies got to still have a chance. First and third here with 2 outs, and Rylan Wiggins up.
Team leading 14th RBI of the year for Trinity, and Rylan Wiggins to the plate with runners at the corners.
This is where Ryland's excelled, hitting with 2 outs.
She'll take a strike on the inner half of the plate. Ryland, the sophomore right-handed hitter, 406 average, 3 home runs, 12 runs driven in, and a team best 6 doubles on the season. Yeah, you're right. She's hitting 406 on the year, Tyler, 444 with 2 outs. Outside and the count evens.
And it felt like every hit that Ryland Wiggins had last week either came with runners in scoring position or 2 outs. And she tended to capitalize in those situations so far this year.
Takes a strike. Kind of, you can see the air come out of Ryland's shoulders there. She's kind of thinking, oh, man, that might have been a good one to swing at.
Yeah, it's a good pitch.
Yeah.
Ellis may have crossed her up there. I think Ryland was thinking something away again. Ellis came back in and worked over the inner third of the plate.
1-2 the count with 2 outs. Aggies with the early lead. There's a pitch. Fouls this one off. Reached out and really just protected the plate there. Staying alive, 1-2. It was a good sign for this Aggie team. They are undefeated this year when they score first. They've actually outscored opponents now 32-6 in the first inning. Hard ground ball at third base. It is picked there, and Wiggins is thrown out to end the inning. But the Aggies are able to convert one of the free passes, and they take a 1-0 lead over 12th-ranked Oklahoma State as we head to the second inning here in Aggie land. This is Texas A&M softball from Learfield.
It's time to ask the Aggies, presented by David Gardner Jewelers.
Howdy, I'm Ashley David Gardner, and I'd like to ask the Aggies, you've been hearing about this, and if so, what are they like? There's definitely other life. There's something out there. I don't know if they're aliens or different versions of us, but there's definitely something out there. Have y'all seen Gordon Hill? I feel like we're sick. And like, it's probably people, I feel like it's people that look just like us, but we're just bigger than us. Back when we had this ongoing joke of my best friend's dad being an alien. So I think of them. I don't think they exist. But some people might look like that.
Well, roasted.
I wasn't gonna go that far. I feel like some people might act like them.
Well, roasted.
I feel like when it rains, somebody like sneezes. And this day and age, if I saw a little green alien walking towards me, I'd say like, oh no, that's like, yes, thank you. Just because like the galaxy is infinite. You can't say, oh, I think that's stuff like that's here.
Texas Farm Bureau members get 2 free tickets to select athletic events by submitting your name, member ID, and game of your choice at 12man.com/member benefits. This offer is exclusive to Texas Farm Bureau members, so become a member today. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud partner, Texas A&M Athletics. Aggies lead it 1-0 over 12th-ranked Oklahoma State on the Trinity Cannon 2-out, 2-strike RBI single. And Emily Kennedy, the freshman, Tyler, has a lead here in the second.
Yeah, and A&M did what they needed to do there. Get Emily Kennedy some run support. She has had some opportunities this year to pitch ahead and has done so quite well. And like the at-bats that the Aggies put together, Matt, that's the first hit this weekend by an Aggie hitter 1 through 5 in the lineup.
Wow.
So you know what? I think that's a good positive take right there as you get back to work here and let Emily Kennedy face the bottom of the order here for the Cowgirls 6, 7, 8 do up as we go to the top of the second.
Haley Busby, the right-handed hitter, leads it off, takes a strike on the inside part of the plate.
And how many times have we talked about it with Emily especially? You score a run, getting a shutdown inning, call 1, 2, 3 clean inning, get back in the dugout and go hit again. That's been something I know this coaching staff's wanted to see out of her. Quick, clean innings after a run scored.
All back onto the net. Strike 2 to Busby. Haley is a grad student out of Phoenix, transferred from the University of Virginia. Played her first 2 seasons at UVA, was a 2-year starter out there. This season, Haley hitting .212 with a homer and 6 runs driven in. Rise ball lays off it, went about a third of the way around, but she'll stay alive at 1-2.
Yeah, that was a good take by Busby. She wanted to chase that out of the zone. And
Now the umpires are calling, see if it was if she got any contact with the ball, maybe?
yeah, I think her on-plate umpire, Kaylee Young's asking her
Yeah, I didn't
trio of
hear
umpires
it.
if she heard it, if they
Yeah.
heard any contact. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
In fact, if the angle that Busby's swing would have been at, I think if she would have gotten any contact off on it, it would have gone pop straight. Been popped straight up.
So it's a ball, 1-2 the count. This pitch, foul back to the net. Busby, one of 5 transfers on this Cowgirl roster. Not all of them have come this year, but Kenny Gajewski's really done an amazing job of dipping into that portal and getting people that could help an already really, really good program.
Really retooled their pitching staff by the addition of Morgan Day and Miranda Ellish.
Chopped off the plate, right to Kennedy in the circle. 1 out as she throws her out at first base.
Yeah, right back to Emily in the circle. Does a really nice job of filling that on 2 hops and quickly throwing across to Mariana Torres for out number 1.
Third baseman number 21, Sydney Pennington.
So 1 down, and here is Sydney Pennington, the third baseman. Another right-handed hitter. She's out of Sand Springs. 250 hitter. No home runs, 3 runs driven in, making her 14th start of the season. She takes a strike. I am not keeping track of this. I should every time I say it, but I got to think that almost every batter, Emily has been ahead in the count.
Yeah, I would agree, Matt. It feels like every hitter so far, she's been ahead, which is something that, I don't know if we would said that every time about Emily's time she's pitched.
Line shot into the glove of Kennedy, who knocks it down, stays with it, and throws her out at first base. That is, it's lucky the ball was hit where it was. Let's put it that way. She had no time to react to that.
No time to react, Matt. Luckily, Emily stuck her glove out and just knocked it down. Actually caught it for a second. Oh, wow, just right back at her. But really nice composure by the freshman to field and throw across to get out number 2 after getting a line drive sent right back at you.
That ball was a rocket off the bat of Pennington, but a nice play. Kennedy able to keep her composure and still go after the ball, getting a nice laugh in with her first baseman, Torres.
Had it all the way.
So 2 outs, 1-0 Aggies here in the top of 2. Here is Morgan Wynn, the first baseman. Another one of the transfers on this OSU roster. Concord, California is her hometown. She'll fly this one deep down the line and right. It will tail foul and 1 hop the fence. For strike 1, Wynn out of the University of Kansas. Was a 3-year starter at Kansas before jumping over here to Oklahoma State. Hit 29 home runs for the Jayhawks. This year hitting 136, has a home run and RBI, 22 at-bats on the year, 3 hits. A swing and a miss.
Ton of power potential. Hit 17 homers, drove in 44, hit 355 a year ago for the Jayhawks. Was an All Big 12 second team pick. Ton of power, but now faces an 0-2 count.
Top foul coming back over our heads. Final day at home for Texas A&M. They're going to be on the road for most of the next 2 weeks. 5 games at Cal State Fullerton at the Judy Garman Classic, a 3-game series at Auburn with a midweek home game sandwiched in between them. Here's a hard grounder at Coco at short, and she'll throw her out at first. That's what you like out of Emily Kennedy. After the Aggies take the lead, she goes out and throws a 1-2-3 inning. 1-0 Aggies over Oklahoma State. This is Texas A&M softball from Learfield.
It's now time to race for your Whataburger. We have 2 softballs at the starts of row 8 and 9 in section 109. The first row to pass the ball all the way to the end of the row will be today's Whataburger's lucky row. Rows, are you ready to race? Ready, set, go! It looks like row 8 is in the lead, and row 8 is the winner! Y'all are Whataburger's lucky row for today.
Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. When more girls play, everyone wins. That's why T-Mobile is donating $50,000 to each SEC school to help drive change for the incredible female athletes who compete in the SEC today and the young girls who dream of doing so in the future. T-Mobile, the presenting sponsor of your Aggie softball season and your hometown network of Texas A&M athletics.
1-0 Texas A&M leading Oklahoma State as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. And it is time now for our Slovacek's Sausage player profile. Up to bat, Shaylee Ackerman, the junior, .211 hitter on the year with a homer and 4 runs driven in. She is also pitching this year. This is what she did in high school, and she was very good at it. I would expect we will see her at some point this day. 2-0 with a .70 earned run average. What a job she's done on the young season so far.
Yeah, man, she's been really strong in the circle. 4 innings, you know, only had to throw one, basically a combined 1-hit shutout in the Aggies' 11-0 win over Pitt last Saturday night. But getting the start today in left field, and probably had 2 of the Aggies' best ABs in Friday's game against the Cowgirls. Had the 2-out single in the 7th that broke up the no-no.
Shea will take a pitch low, ball 1. That base hit, I was just talking with Pete Suarez behind us, 86 or 87 mile an hour exit velocity off the bat.
Yeah, it was
hardest hit ball of
rockets.
the year for the Aggies. That is our Slovacic sausage player profile. Slovacic sausage, the official sausage of Texas A&M Athletics. Next pitch misses. 2-0 the count to Shea. Junior out of Queen Creek, Arizona. And if she can work to be a contributor in the circle, which I expect she will, that's going to be a huge benefit to this pitching staff for Texas A&M. Called strike, inside half.
Yeah, she gives the Aggies something really different from the right side. Now, we haven't seen Grace Uribe this year, but Shea really gives the Aggies a relief option for sure that can give you a ton of velocity out of the bullpen, but also a good starting option on a weekend where you see, you know, Mackenzie Herzog, who can really mix it up, and then Emily Kennedy, who's got a really power arm.
Chopped at third. Pennington gloves it near her feet on a low hop, is able to throw out Ackerman for out number 1.
Yeah, and Ellis ran that inside on the hands of Ackerman. Wasn't a bad pitch to hit, but Shea was just a little bit behind, and good play by Pennington. Even better play by Wynn to dig that out for out number 1.
So here's Mariana Torres, the Aggie first baseman, sophomore out of Pflugerville in the Austin area. Torres 0 for 9 at the plate on the young season. Behind that one, swings and misses, strike 1. Has scored 4 runs, driven in a run. She's actually scored in each of her last 3 starts, so she's not gotten a base hit, but she's found a way to get on base and then produce runs. Takes a pitch for a strike across the outside black. 0-2 the count. Aggies lead at 1-0 here in the second. That one misses down, 1-2. Torres at first base for the Aggies, playing first for the first time in her career. This is not a normal position for her, and this is where she can help this team out the most this year. They've worked her on the right side of the infield throughout the spring. Really good defender. And she's earned an opportunity to start at first for the Aggies. Swings and misses on a pitch inside for a strikeout. Looks like maybe Ellis took just a tiny bit off of that one for out number 2.
Yeah, third K of the afternoon for Miranda Ellis. Looks like she just dialed down the velocity and threw the changeup on the inner half. Really nice pitch from the senior Ellis to run that one on the inside of Mariana Torres. 2 outs, though. Chance for Star Ferguson.
So here's Star. Left-handed hitting junior out of Sugar Land Kempner. 1 for 11 at the plate this year with 4 runs scored. Left-handed hitter takes the ball. 5th time this year that Star is in the hitting lineup for the Aggies. She has started every single game in center field. A lot of times it'll depend on how the Aggies have their pitching plan for the game, whether or not she'll get in that starting rotation. Slow roller at third. And the throw to first by Pennington is in time. And a quiet second inning for Texas A&M against Miranda Ellis. On to the third, your Aggies lead, number 12 Oklahoma State, 1-0. This is Texas A&M softball from Learfield.
Thank you for joining Texas A&M Athletics in this year's 12th Man Centennial Celebration presented by Valero. Often imitated but never duplicated, the 100-year anniversary of the 12th Man will continue throughout the year at all athletic events. To submit your own video testimonials, download digital content, check out the giveaway schedule, buy merch, and to be a part of the celebration, visit 12thman.com/centennial.
No one gets you closer to SEC sports than SiriusXM. Tune in to shows on SEC Radio hosted by experts like Peter Burns, Chris Dorian, and Aaron Murray. Plus, get conference news, analysis, and more from offseason through the postseason. They've got your team covered anywhere you go. Start listening today at SiriusXM.com/SEC SXM. On to inning number 3. Aggies lead Oklahoma State 1-0. You want this one? How's that voice?
Yeah, we're good. We're back in.
Rolling. He's back.
We're back.
You had to kind of pinch hit a little bit on Friday, but it's good. All right,
So
Tyler Pigg, have it.
Thank you, Matt. 9-1-2 up for the Cowgirls here was the head of the top of the third. Alexander, Naomi, and Factor. Yeah, guys, if you listened in on Friday, I promise I was not on my deathbed, but I was struggling past the fifth. Line shot off the bat of Alexander, fielded by Woolley, quickly fires across, and there's one away in the top of the third. What a play by the freshman Coco Woolley for out number 1.
If you're not watching on the network, folks, that ball was a rocket off the bat, hit really hard, and Woolley goes glove side towards the second base bag and just gets, just an absolutely beautiful play there.
Yeah, Coco stabbed at it, reached down and grabbed it for first out of the third. As Cowgirls flip the lineup over. It'll be Kylie Naomi, shortstop, hitting .222 this year. 1 homer, 2 RBIs for the shortstop out of Maurice, Louisiana. Bats from the right side. 1-0 from Kennedy. And that one's downstairs 2-0, just off the plate. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Aggies. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Cowgirls as we play early in the top of the third. Emily Kennedy kicks, fires, and just misses downstairs. Count down to 3-0 to Kylie Naomi. Cheyenne Factor, the center fielder, due up next. Here's a 3-0. And just misses again outside. A 4-pitch walk to Kylie Naomi. Emily Kennedy really close there a couple times and a couple pitches around the strike zone, but she issues her second walk of the day. And it'll be the center fielder Cheyenne Factor due up next.
Yeah, looked like a good pitch there. Probably off the plate, but you saw Kylie Naomi just making sure before she started to head down to first.
Yeah, I think both teams so far, Matt, have been really selective at the plate, not swinging pitches out of the strike zone. It's Factor steps in. That one's downstairs, 1-0 to the center fielder out of Yukon, Oklahoma. Senior that bats from the right side. Factor has been a steady presence in this Cowgirl lineup for much of her career. That one's again downstairs from Kennedy, 2-0. Factor for her career, kind of all over the OSU record book. 10th in career slugging percentage, 13th in OBP. Has 85 career RBIs as the Aggie infield's going to come together for a quick conversation.
Yeah, you don't want to let this inning get ahead of you here. Make them earn their way on. You can say the same thing about the Aggies in that first inning. Trinity Cannon right now is the game's only hit. But in that first inning, Oklahoma State had a walk and a hit batter. And that's something Aggie pitching, Tyler, has really done a nice job of to this point in the season. They have not issued a ton of those, what you call free passes, hits or walks.
And stacked those together.
Yeah.
You're right, Matt. So Factor digs back in. 3-0 count to the senior center fielder. Runner on first. Here's a 3-0. Called a strike right down the middle, 3-1. Outfield straight away. Kylie Naomi on first after the 1-out walk. It'll be Julia Cottrell due up next for the Cowgirls. Kennedy peers at the wristband, takes her sign. Here's the 3-1. Check that 2-1 downstairs, make it 3-1.
Heard Oklahoma State's dugout doing the ball 5 chant. I had to check the score at Bluebell. 5-0 Aggies in the 7th over Penn.
Yeah, that's what the first of 2.
Yeah.
2 9-inning games over at Bluebell. Aggies can even it up over there. Here's the 3-1 check swing. It'll be ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Emily Kennedy to the top of the Oklahoma State order will set the stage for Julia Cottrell here with 1 out in the top of the third. That's the one thing, like we just said, the Aggies have not stacked a lot of walks together back-to-back like that all year long. But a chance for Kennedy to work out of the jam as the 3-hole hitter Cottrell steps up. Runners on first and second, one away.
It's already it's a young career, but it's already a career high in walks for Emily, who had walked 2 a couple other games.
Here's the first pitch fouled over our heads out of play, 0-1. You know, Matt, the one thing that Kennedy's done the last at least 3 appearances, check that, 4 appearances, she struck out at least 5. Doesn't have a case so far today. That's kind of unlike Emily Kennedy. She has been able to rack up the strikeout numbers with the Cowgirls have put a bunch of competitive ABs together. Change up, dribble to Cannon at third. She steps on third for out 1, throws across, double play. 5-3 double play to end the top of the third, just what Emily Kennedy needed. And the Aggies will take a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the third inning. You're listening to A&M Softball from Learfield.
Aggies 1. Fans here headed down the first baseline on the field to Juliana for today's Rudy's Bottle Race.
Howdy, Aggie fans. This season's Rudy's is proud to sponsor Rudy's Bottle Race. We have Brianna representing Rudy's Sissy Sauce and Haley representing Rudy's Original Sauce. Our 2 contestants will race down here on the field, and the first to the finish line will walk away with a Rudy's gift card. All right, contestants, on your mark, get set, go. Let's cheer them on, Ags. Looks like Rudy's Original Sauce is in the lead. It looks like it's going to be Original Sauce. Congratulations, Haley.
And they just want a Rudy's gift card courtesy of Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue.
Aggies lead 1-0. Welcome back to Davis Diamond. Tyler Pigg, Matt Simon with you. You just joined us. You just missed a dandy of a double play, our first Dos Equis double play of the game. No matter where you are watching this softball season, be sure to buy cold, crisp Dos Equis in Giga Mags. Matt, that was just what Emily Kennedy needed as Trinity Cannon rolled the 5-3 double play.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, again, self-inflicted wounds, really by both pitchers. You know, I say wounds. Kennedy hasn't been damaged yet, but Ellis walked 2 in the first inning. The Aggies made her pay. So far, through 3 innings, Oklahoma State has not yet been able to make Emily Kennedy pay.
Yeah, Kennedy not allowed to hit, 3 walks, just hit a batter. Actually hasn't recorded a strikeout yet, like we said in the last half. It's kind of odd if you're looking at Emily's stat line. But no matter what, Aggies are up 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order. Coco Woolley, Haley Lee, Mackenzie Herzog due up to face Miranda Ellish.
Second time through the lineup. Let's see if the Aggies can make a little bit of adjustments. I wouldn't say they've been overmatched yet by Ellish. You know, she's been in control in really all of the at-bats, I would say, except for the 2 walks. Even Trinity Cannons, it was a good competitive at-bat that Trinity won. But can A&M make an adjustment here against Ellish here, round 2?
Yeah, and the one thing, Matt, the Aggies really made Ellish throw a ton of pitches in the first. She did not have to throw a lot in the bottom of the second. So see what the Aggies can do against the senior righty. Here's the first one to Coco Woolley, and that's outside 1-0 to the freshman out of LaPorte. Coco in the year 415 hitter, no home runs, 4 RBIs. Second in the conference in triples with 3. She hits a ground ball foul, just fielded by Cindy Pennington in foul territory. Count even now 1-1.
I'm excited to watch her growth as she starts to face some really high-level pitching as she works her way through her freshman year. Watch her grow as that lefty slapper.
And Coco had a really nice weekend last week and had a pair of triples in the Texas A&M Invitational. Here's the 1-1. Shows a bunt, but that one's upstairs and away. Count 2-1. Really had some key ABs in last week's wins. Scored a run and singled 3 times in the finale last weekend against Kansas, and the Aggies 12-0 win to close out weekend number 2. Here's the 2-1 to the freshman. Dribbler back off the glove of Ellish in the circle. She'll field it, but will not be able to throw out Coco Woolley, and that's an infield single for the freshman, her first of the afternoon. Really nice play by Ellish, Matt, to glove that ball. It was actually behind her. Ellish knocked it down, but nothing Miranda could do, and quickly there's a leadoff single for the Aggies.
Yeah, and if you've been watching us through the year, there have been times we've said, well, you know, so-and-so needs to let that ball through to her middle infielders. If that ball gets by Ellish, no one's getting Coco Woolley. You're right. Really athletic play, having to come back across her chest to try to get that ball, but it is an infield single for A&M.
So speed on the base pass for the Aggies. Coco Woolley, 8 of 9 on the year in stolen bases, and it brings up Haley Lee. Haley 0 for 0 today. Walked her first plate appearances. That's a strike on the inner half. 0-1 to the senior out of Kingwood, Texas. Doing the catching today for the Aggies. Herzog on deck, then followed by Morgan Smith. Ellis takes a look at the wristband, rocks, and fires. Here's the 0-1. Now it's inside. Runner takes off. Woolley will steal second with no throw from Julia Cottrell. 9th stolen base of the year for Coco Woolley. That's our Wells Fargo between the base path moment. Wells Fargo, the official bank of Texas A&M Athletics. Coco Woolley now 9 stolen bases on the year. Man, that is 6 more than any other Aggie. Ryla Wiggins second on the team with 3. So a runner in scoring position. 0-2 count to Haley Lee with no outs. See what the senior can do. Downstairs, 1-2.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cottrell went to throw, but I think the second baseman was covering, and I don't think she was quite there yet, and Cottrell just decided to eat it because she had time to throw. Yeah, I don't know that her fielder was over just yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Petty was going to get there in time, so Cottrell just put it in her back pocket. Here's that 1-2. Lee takes a changeup called strike 3. Fooled her on the inner half, so 1 away. First strikeout of the afternoon for Haley Lee. 4th of the game for Miranda Ellis, and it'll set up Mackenzie Herzog with a RBI chance with 1 away.
Nice pitch there by Ellis. Changing speed, changing location. Really, I actually wasn't as much of a changeup as I thought out of the hand when I watched the replay, but just a really nice pitch.
First one to Herzog down and away. Yeah, a couple times, Matt, I think Ellis is just really taking a good bit off of it. Full the Aggie hitters. Hasn't been much of changeups where she's just changed velocity enough. That's full the Aggies a couple times. 4 Ks for Ellis through 2 1/3 as that one's high and away to Herzog. 2 balls, no strikes. Aggies are getting into the 44 Farms meat of the order. 3-4-5. So Herzog bats from the left side. Runner on second's Coco Woolley. Again, that one misses down and away. 3-0 quickly to Mackenzie Herzog. If he just misses to start the top of the 3rd, Coco Woolley reached on a infield single, then quickly stole second. The Aggies have been an aggressive base running team all year long. Really put pressure on teams. Here comes the 3-0. Called strike. Caught the outer half. Count now 3-1 to Mackenzie Herzog.
What's interesting, too, about Cottrell behind the plate is the Aggies saw her last year when she played for the Florida Gators. So they've got a little bit of a scout report on her behind the plate.
The 3-1. Herzog takes another called strike, catches the outer half, 3-2. Ellis just continued to work away to the left-handed hitters.
Making her throw a lot of pitches. She's now at 57, I believe, through just 2 1/3.
Through right at, I believe it was 32 in the first. Here's the payoff to Herzog. Line drive to the shortstop for second baseman Petty. She bobbles it, fields, throws across the first, and Herzog beats it out. See how they scored? It was kind of a looping liner that fell right in front of Petty, the second baseman. Herzog beats it out. Now the Aggies have runners at the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, that's an error. That's what I thought I would call it. She let the ball play her, honestly, is what she did there. If she charges it, she's able to make a bit of a shoestring catch on a soft liner, but she had it right in the middle of a between hop. And so, again, it's a miscue. Oklahoma State is a very good defensive team. They don't do this very often. Can you make them pay if you're Texas A&M?
Yeah, exactly. And looks like the count's going to be 1-0 to Morgan Smith as home plate umpire Kayla Young comes and chats with Kenny Gajewski. Looked like Ellis stepped on the rubber, stepped off.
It's getting a little heated over there between Kayla Young and the Oklahoma State dugout. Yeah, I don't know if it was a time issue or if it was just a balk, if they called it an illegal pitch.
That's what I'm wondering, Matt. Didn't see the illegal pitch signal, but pretty quickly Kayla Young stepped out and threw 1-0 as the count up. Kenny
Yeah,
Gaiesi's going
yeah.
to come out and have a chat with the home plate umpire, Kaylee Young.
He wants to talk about it.
Ellis was in the circle. Morgan Smith was just stepping into the box, it appeared. And then Ellis stopped and raised the ball in the air, almost like she was trying to exchange the softball with the home plate umpire, and that's when play was stopped.
It's a pretty calm discussion here over in front of the OSU dugout, but again, it's very strange. It's a lot of times things will happen and you have your eye off of something like that. You're working on something else, and all of a sudden you see the umpire's made a call, so not quite sure what the deal is there, but did she do that with her foot on the rubber? Maybe
Yeah,
it's the only thing
that's
I can
what
think
that
of,
was
yeah.
my. When I was looking right at Ellis to get her sign, she stopped. It looked like she threw the ball in the air just for a second and just kind of put it right above her head, and that's when Kaylee Young stepped out. Didn't signal legal pitch, but immediately put 1-0 up as the count. So after all that, it's runners at the corners, 1 out for Morgan Smith, and it'll be a 1-0 count to the senior right fielder out of Lake Jackson. Morgan walked her first plate appearance. Big RBI chance here for the senior. Here's the 1-0. Just missed on the outer half 2-0. That's been a strike earlier.
Yeah.
Morgan now up in the count 2-0.
It's a good location, but Ellis, and she does have a base open, but you really don't want to start playing with more fire.
Yeah, and this is where Morgan Smith was really key a weekend ago. Had a couple RBI opportunities like this and was able to capitalize. Shows bunt. Now he's thought about maybe going with the safety squeeze there, and that one's downstairs, 3-0 down to Morgan Smith.
I got to think anything on the ground, Coco is gone. Taking off, heading for home. I mean, unless it's smoked right at somebody, she's going to try to force the issue at the plate.
Yeah, infield pretty much at normal depth. Corners in slightly. Here's the 3-0. Morgan takes that one down and away, and the bases are loaded. After a walk to Morgan Smith, sets up a bases loaded RBI opportunity here for Trinity Cannon.
Yeah, I don't know if they intentionally put her on, unintentionally, intentionally put her on. You could make the argument that does take some pressure off your defense. What it does is it kind of neutralizes the speed at third of Coco Woolley, because now you have a force play at the plate.
Didn't really give Morgan Smith much to hit at all in that plate appearance. So here's Trinity Cannon, 1-for-1, had the RBI single to put the Aggies up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Trinity, called strike right down the middle, 0-1. Trinity on the year, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. It leads Texas A&M and hitting .357. It's had a really good start to her sophomore season. Bags full of Aggies. Now Cannon faces an 0-1. Now misses outside. Snatched by Cottrell. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Man, it's so early, but you just feel like this is such a big at-bat in this game. I mean, it is only the 3rd inning, but for some reason, just kind of have that feeling.
Really have pushed Ellis's pitch count up. She's at 62 through 2 1/3. Here's the 1-1. Trinity chases a rise ball upstairs. Count now 1-2. Good pitch from Ellis. Really elevated Trinity's eyes there and blew that one past her to run it to 1-2.
You saw Joe Evans kind of put her hands down saying, hey, it's okay. Take it down a notch. You're good.
So bases loaded. Woolley at third. Arzog at second. Smith at first. Cannon takes a called strike 3 for strike route number 2.
She was already halfway back to the dugout before the home plate umpire rung her up. That's how much she knew that was a strike.
Yeah. Got fooled on that one. So 2 away. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Another RBI opportunity for Rylan Wiggins. 5th K of the afternoon for Ellis. Big chance for the sophomore Rylan Wiggins. Here comes the first pitch. Line foul. Off the netting. 0-1 to Rylan. Who grounded out to close the first. Just want to see the Aggies put the ball in play, Matt, like you mentioned earlier. Make the Cowgirls make a play defensively. 5 strikeouts early on in this one. As Ellis works with an 0-1 count, 2 away. Rylan around and down in front of that one, count now 0-2 as Ellis got that one above her hands. Quickly down 0-2 as Rylan Wiggins steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Ellis kicks and fires the 0-2. That one gets past the catcher, Cottrell. Willie's going to come home. Will she beat the play or the tag? She's tagged out. Cottrell dove towards the plate. Woolley tried to dive around the tag. And that will end the bottom of the third as the wild pitch doesn't haunt the Cowgirls.
Joe Evans hot. He's talking to Kaylee Young.
Seeing the replay, can't tell really from that angle. It almost looked like Cottrell missed the tag originally and got her on the second time through. No matter what happens, it's going to be a 2U at the plate, and that'll end the bottom of the third. Aggies lead 1-0. You're listening to Texas A&M softball from Learfield. We move to the bottom of the fourth. Texas A&M leads number 12 Oklahoma State 1-0. Aggies had a chance there in the bottom of the third, but a tag out of the plate by OSU catcher Julia Cottrell caught Coco Woolley trying to come home when it was a wild pitch, and the Aggies left 2 on. So still a 1-0 ball game as Emily Kennedy fires a strike to Carly Petty. An off-speed pitch fooled the second baseman Adam Moore. Count 0-1.
Big inning for Kennedy. There's a lot of energy in that Oklahoma State dugout after that play at the plate.
Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes to Petty as Kennedy fires that one by Matt. That felt like a really big opportunity for A&M to take the momentum. Instead, OSU got it right back with the tag out of the plate on the errant pitch by Miranda Ellis. It was a really nice tag by Julia Cottrell to get back there. As that one's ripped to the right side for a leadoff single by Carly Petty. First base hit of the afternoon for the Cowgirls.
Yeah, I just left that one too far over the plate on an 0-2 count. Nice job by Petty of hitting it. And going back to that play at the plate, we didn't get a great replay on it. I think the angle I saw, I think she might have gotten her hand in on the point of the plate before the tag, but good point up here in the booth was in a few weeks, that's a challengeable play when you get to SEC play with the replay, whether or not it ends up coming your way.
Kennedy fires a strike into Caitlin Carwile, right fielder out of Purcell, Oklahoma, count 0-1. For the leadoff single from Carly Petty. Carwile lines that one foul, count quickly 0-2. The first base hit allowed by Kennedy. Kept the Cowgirls hitless through 3. Second straight inning, OSU's put the leadoff runner on. Kennedy worked out of the jam in the third. Let's see what she can do here. Carwile back in, quickly an 0-2 count. Lines that one foul. She poked that one just past the third base line in foul territory. Keeps it 0-2. Kennedy so far through 3 innings, no strikeouts, 3 walks, and just that 1 hit allowed. That one's upstairs and away, 1-2 to Carwile out of Purcell. About 2 hours south of Stillwater. Bats from the left side as the shadows begin to overtake home plate. Here's the 1-2. That one's way upstairs. Lee gets out of the crouch to snag that one. Count even 2-2.
First time today that Oklahoma State has gotten the lead hitter on in the inning.
Here's the 2-2. Change up, drilled to center. Ferguson takes a step in. It's going to get overhead and 2 hop off the wall. Here comes Petty. They'll send her. The play at the plate. No, they'll hold her. Really nice cutoff throw by Coco Woolley. Kept it second and third. I thought Kenny Gaiesi was going to send Petty all the way and put the brakes on him about maybe 25 feet down the third base line, but no matter what, that's a double to the center field wall off the bat of Caitlin Carwile. And the Cowgirls have runners on second and third with no outs.
Yeah, and I think he went and put his body in between her and the home plate to make sure she didn't go. Not to me, not necessary to try to score with nobody out, as Coco Woolley has by far the strongest arm of that Aggie infield, and that's who had the cutoff throw.
Yeah, it was a really nice play from Coco to get it. Star Ferguson didn't think she had a chance to get there. It was just lined over her head and center, but did a really nice job of corralling at the wall. And Woolley just an absolute rocket.
And I think even if Star reads it well off the bat, I don't think she gets it.
Agreed, Agreed. She did take a step in, but not much she could do about that as that ball was just laced off the bat of Carwile. Her first extra base hit of the season. Just her third hit in 12 ABs. Joe Evans still chatting with the Aggie infield. So after the leadoff single by Petty and the double by Carwile, it's designated player Haley Busby up. No outs. Second and third for the designated players. 206, 1 home run, 6 RBIs on the year. Busby, a transfer from Virginia. Takes a called strike, 0-1.
Aggies have pulled their infield in too here, Tyler, with second and third. So that cuts the angles down even more for defenders to make a play.
Yeah, infield pinched in on the corners. So is the middle infield. That one's upstairs, 1-1. Busby, a preseason All Big 12 pick, a year ago hit .376. Had 19 home runs, 49 RBIs. 19 home runs, set an OSU single-season record. That one's sent back to Kenny. Going to look the runner back, going to throw to third. Gets it past Trinity Cannon. Here comes the runner to the plate, and she'll score. Kennedy fielded on 2 hops, made the right read to get the runner Petty in a rundown, but it went off the glove of Trinity Cannon, and the Cowgirls tie it up 1-1. So it'll be a fielder's choice and then an E5, I believe, on Cannon for not catching it. Yeah, that hit Trinity right in the hands.
Yeah. And she sped herself up there. She was thinking about the rundown before she actually had the ball in her glove, Tyler. That ball was a perfect throw from Kennedy. Had the runner dead to rights. Even if you got her in a rundown, you'll be able to get her. And Trinity was just a step ahead of the play, and it cost her.
Yeah, so that's an unearned run to Kennedy. She fires a strike quickly to Sydney Pennington, 0-1. Kennedy did the right thing. Petty was probably a good 8 or 9 steps off the bag and was breaking towards home when she caught it. Looked the runner back, but Cannon unable to corral it and then allowed Petty to score. So runners at first and second after the fielder's choice. Quickly, an 0-2 count to Pennington. She lines that one back to the screen. So Carwile at second, Busby at first after that fielder's choice. And tied 1-1 between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. Comes that 0-2. Swing and a miss. First K of the afternoon for Emily Kennedy. Works that up and away, and the freshman records a strikeout. Much needed for out number 1.
Yeah, that error for the Aggies, just their 5th in the last 7 games. You remember this? We remember the Sam Houston game. We were there where they kicked the ball all over the place. But since then, they've been solid. That one came back to bite them, though.
So now Kennedy one pitch out of away from getting out of this inning with a double play ball in effect as she fires a strike to Morgan Wynn. First baseman for the Cowgirls, hitting .130 on the year, 1 homer, 1 RBI. Wynn, a Kansas transfer. Now one's upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wynn was a 2021 second team All Big 12 pick, had 17 homers, 49 RBIs, and hit .355 for the Jayhawks. And because of the transfer portal and the free transfer that you get in Division I softball, she moved interconference, came to Stillwater from Lawrence as she chops that one foul off the screen. Count quickly 1-2 to the Concord, California native. It is a strange path, Matt, to go from Concord, California to Lawrence, Kansas to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Concord via Lawrence to Stillwater.
Stillwater. That would be a long trek if you were driving in your car. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. Did she go? She did. Second strikeout in a row from Kayla Young. Rings her up. And Emily Kennedy has back-to-back Ks.
Well, to the right-handed hitter, she's throwing the ball on that outside black, and they're not able to hold up. And she's gotten those 2 big-time outs.
So it'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Chelsea Alexander.
Step up to the plate, left field number 55, Chelsea Alexander.
Alexander had a pair of hits in Friday's win for the Cowgirls, and she takes a called strike, 0-1. In fact, she came around to reached on a infield single in the first, and then had a single to left in the third. 2 of the 5 hits for the Cowgirls on Friday afternoon. Here's the 0-1 from Kennedy. Check swing foul past Cannon down the third baseline in foul territory. It's quickly 0-2. A really strong job by Emily Kennedy to come back here after allowing 2 base hits and then the E5 allowing the runner to score. She has really buckled down and is 1 pitch away from retiring the side via the strikeout. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. What a job by the freshman, Emily Kennedy. 3 straight strikeouts to retire the side, and we're tied heading to the bottom of the 4th between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. You're listening to Aggie Softball from Learfield.
St. Joseph Health is proud to be your primary partner for primary care and the official healthcare provider of Texas A&M Athletics. Fans, check out events coming soon to Texas A&M. The Harlem Globetrotters on April 4th at Reed Arena, and the PBR Food Barn Classic at Reed Arena on April 8th and 9th. To buy tickets and get more information, visit reedarena.com.
Aggie fans, the Pool Guy offers complete swimming pool service and maintenance with the best quality and a price match guarantee. The Pool Store by the Pool Guy is located on William D. Fitch next to HEB and proud to be Aggie owned and operated.
How about that end of the inning for Emily Kennedy? That could have been an ugly inning for Texas A&M.
You're talking about 3 strikeouts when he needed them the most, back to retire 7, 8, 9 for the Cowgirls. That was much needed. The Aggies allow the Cowgirls to strand 2 there, and we got a tie ball game going in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, you don't want to give up a run on an error, but if second and third, nobody out, if you had said they're going to score just 1, I'd have taken it.
Same. Rylan Wiggins back up. She was at the plate when that one's grounded to short on 3 hops. Naomi quickly fires across for out number 1.
Tell you what, that's a routine grounder, but watching Naomi, the kid was kind of threw off her back heels and still got a bunch on it. It was a beautiful throw by a really good shortstop.
Yeah, I think she thought she had a bigger hop maybe coming off the plate, but it was a really strong throw from Naomi just to basically shift her weight to her back foot and fire across for out number 1 to retire a pretty speedy Rylan Wiggins. Steps Shay Ackerman. She takes a ball in the outer half, 1-0 from Miranda Ellish. Ellish so far 3 1/3, surrendered 2 hits, 1 run, walked 3 and struck out 5. A hot shot off the bat of Ackerman. Nice job by Petty, moving to her right, quickly fires across. There's 2 away in the bottom of the 4th for the Aggies.
You'll take that hard hit ball every time. That one just happened to be hit at the fielder. If that ball's hit in any other direction, another couple of feet here or there, it's a base hit.
Yeah,
it might have scooted.
We're starting to see some pretty good contact out of Shaylee Ackerman. Had 2 hard hit balls on Friday's game ended up getting a single. Broke up the no-no, and then really hard hit ball to the second baseman, Petty there. As first baseman Mariana Torres steps in, takes a strike to open her AB. Still looking for first hit on the year is Torres, occupying the 8th spot, playing first base today. Here comes that 0-1. Line back to the screen. Foul. Count quickly 0-2. And Matt, this is going to be the tough part of the hitter for the hitters. The pitcher completely in the sun. And then most of home plate, if not all of home plate, now engulfed in the shadows. Probably the toughest part of the day to hit in is Elish. Appears at the wristband. Here's the 0-2. Chopped foul. And we'll do it again. Count remains 0-2. If Torres can reach, it'll be Star Ferguson up next. Couple base runners could flip the lineup over to the top for the Aggies here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error for both teams. Elish leans back, rocks, and fires off-speed pitch up high, corralled by Cottrell 1-2. I tell you what, Matt, Julia Cottrell's made some pretty nice plays today. She snagged a couple of rise balls that have gotten away from Elish, made that really nice play to tag out Coco Woolley to end the third. Really good catcher behind the plate. Here's the 1-2 to Torres. Line to left. Coming in is Chelsea Alexander. She'll make the running grab to retire this side. So the Aggies go down in order 1, 2, 3. So we move to the top of the fifth. Tied at 1 between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. You're listening to Aggie softball from Learfield.
Thanks to the Pool Guy, a proud sponsor of Texas A&M Athletics. Visit the Pool Guy's pool store off the Williams Beach next to HEB at PowerPoint.
Sounds good, Brandon. Aggie fans, Barker's is proud to be the official heating and cooling provider for Texas A&M Athletics. Our team of AC professionals have been serving the comfort needs of the people of College Station since 1978. Much like the fans of the Aggies, our commitment to Aggie athletics and providing great service remains as strong as ever. Gig 'em Aggies. 1-1 between Oklahoma State and Texas A&M as we go to the top of the fifth. Big win to even up the series over at Bluebell Park. Aggies win 5-0. All behind the arm of Micah Dallas, right, Matt? Looked like he threw a pretty good game for Jim Schlossnagel's crew.
8 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 10 strikeouts.
Yeah, you'll take that.
It's an average day at the yard.
We'll take that. I believe second career start for Micah, Texas Tech transfer. So coming up, I'm not sure what first pitch will be over there. Probably 4:45, I'm guessing.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
So it'll be the top of the order due up here for the Cowgirls as we start the fifth. Kylie Naomi takes a called strike 0-1 to the senior out of Maurice, Louisiana. You know, after we were talking Friday about where Maurice was, it really was in the need for a shrimp po' boy.
I was about to say.
We didn't do that for dinner at our houses. Naomi quickly down 0-2. Another strike on the outer half from Emily Kennedy. Freshman so far, 4 innings, allowed just 2 hits, 1 run, which was not earned. So walked 3, now got 3 strikeouts. Working on pitch number 78 as Naomi just held her swing up, and that one just missed the outer half. Really nice pitch on an 0-2 count from Kennedy, but it's 1-2 to the shortstop for the Cowgirls. Naomi, Factor, and Cottrell due up top of the order for the Cowgirls in the top of the fifth. That one's way outside. Count even 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weather absolutely gorgeous today. Not a cloud in the sky. 60-degree day here in Bryan College Station. Matt and I don't even have our jackets on today.
No.
Unlike Friday. That one's rise ball up and in on the hands. Count now full. Naomi's worked this back from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count. Big breath from Emily Kennedy. She steps back in the circle, toes the rubber. Kicks and fires. Here's the payoff. Grounder up off the glove of Kennedy. Fielded by Woolley. Throws wide of the bag at first, and Naomi will be safe. Nice play by Coco Woolley to get there, but her throw pulled Mariana Torres off the bag. And the runner advancing to second now is Naomi, and she'll be safe there. Didn't think Kennedy got back in the circle, and Naomi took advantage of it. So that's a, see how they scored. I believe it's going to be an E6 on the throw, and that'll allow Naomi to advance as well. So quickly, a runner in scoring position with no outs for the Cowgirls.
Yeah, it's definitely an error. It's a good play by Woolley, but the throw just pulled Madi off the bag. They're going to score a stolen base. I don't know if that's how that goes, but regardless, runner at 2, nobody out. OSU in business.
So here comes Factor. She shows bunt. Big secondary lead from Kylie Naomi at second, but she'll trot back. Called a strike at the plate, 0-1 to the senior center fielder out of UConn, Oklahoma. Factor on the year, 361, 5 homers, 8 RBIs. Kennedy's 0-1, shows bunting as Factor, pushed towards first, fielded by Torres, who will flip to Rylan Wiggins for out number 1, but that'll advance Kylie Naomi to third base and set up a big RBI chance here for Julia Cottrell. So sack, bunt, 3-4 if you're scoring with us at home.
Catcher number 25, Julia
And one out here in the top of the 5th. See how the Aggies play it. They've got a base open. Cottrell on the day, hit by a pitch and grounded in a double play. Naomi at third. Here's the first pitch to Cottrell. Popped up, but it'll get out of play. Out quickly 0-1.
Cottrell has really hacked away. The first inning, she was hit with a 1-0 pitch, and then swung at the first pitch, grounded it to double play, and here swung at the first pitch. So really going up aggressive at the plate.
Here's that 0-1. Lined, blooper, it'll fall into foul territory after a diving effort from Rylan Wiggins. That was jammed off the bat of Cottrell. Just a little pop-up in the middle of no man's land that just landed in foul territory. Really good effort from Rylan, though, to get there.
Yeah, it's about where the foul line hits the grass coming off the dirt. Torres looked like she was going after that, and then at the last minute, it would have been a really tough play for her, too. It looks like that's a ball that Wiggins maybe called her off.
Yeah, and Torres, too, Matt, just played a couple steps in at the corner at first, so really tough play for her to turn around and go try to find it. Wasn't really hit that high off the bat of Cottrell. As Kenny Gajewski and Julia Cottrell are going to have a quick chat. Like Matt said, 2 big swings from the Cowgirls catcher. Now faces an 0-2 count. Strikeout here would be absolutely huge for Emily Kennedy. With Carly Petty on deck, she's the one who scored the tying run for the Cowgirls in the 4th. Cottrell back in, bats from the right side. Here's the 0-2, swing and a miss. Elevated it with a rise ball. Emily Kennedy with a big and much needed strikeout for the second out here in the top of the 5th.
I have to see the replay on that, but it looks like she swung at that one about at her head. Yeah, she swung up at her shoulders on that one, and there was no way. You're not going to get a rise ball that high.
No, just blew it by her. We've seen Emily probably go up in the zone, I think, Matt, to more than we have in her first couple starts, but it's really been big for her. That's the 4th K of the afternoon for Emily Kennedy. Now 2 outs. Here comes Carly Petty. Inside. Ball 1 to the second baseman for the Cowgirls, hitting .310. 1 home run, 2 RBIs. Petty popped out to Woolley to end the first, and then, like we said, singled and came around to score in the 4th. 1-0, popped up the chute. Trinity Cannon is there, and she'll make the catch. What a performance from Emily Kennedy. She works around an E6 and a stolen base, and as the Cowgirls leave a runner at third, we move to the bottom of the 5th, tied at 1-1 between Texas A&M and Oklahoma State. You're listening to Aggie Softball from Learfield. All good, Brandon. I was just about to ask you. That sounds good. Tyler Pig, Matt Simon back with you from Davis Diamond. 1-1 ball game between the Aggies and Cowgirls. Aggie fans depend on KBTX News 3 for your breaking news and 24/7 weather coverage. Local, trusted KBTX News 3. We go to the bottom of the fifth. 9-1-2 due up for Texas A&M. It'll be Ferguson, Woolley, and Lee to face Miranda Ellis, who goes back to the circle for the Cowgirls.
This game's really had a
ton of swings and momentum.
Yeah, and it really has a good, like, kind of a, I'll be dramatic by saying heavyweight fight, but like this is a big time power conference matchup here. This has been fun to watch.
Both teams have thrown some punches at each other. Cowgirls had a chance to take the lead there, but Emily Kennedy worked out of a big jam. Star Ferguson takes a strike on the outer half, 0-1. Kennedy, like we said, had a leadoff runner reach on a E6. Actually allowed Kylie Naomi to reach third after a sac bunt and then a strikeout and a pop out into the top of the fifth. It's quickly Star Ferguson down 0-2. It's Miranda Ellis peppering the outer corner right now to the lefty out of Sugar Land, Texas. Star 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to third in her first plate appearance. The 0-2. Looped foul off the netting down the left field line.
This is not the first time Miranda Ellis has faced A&M, Tyler, in 2019 in a regional in Austin. Remember, that's the regional Sam Houston beat Texas, and the Aggies lost to Houston.
Yep.
A&M and Texas matched up in the loser game. And Ellis threw a complete game, 6 hits, 2 runs, punched out 10.
Here's the 0-2. Ferguson swinging a miss. Strike 3. 6th strikeout in the afternoon from Miranda Ellis. I'll turn the lineup card over. Coco Woolley up now. Coco on the day, 1 for 2. Had a single in her last day at bat. Nearly scored on almost a wild pitch, but a really just tremendous play by Oklahoma State catcher Julia Cottrell. Denied Woolley the chance to score. She takes one off the plate, 1-0 to the freshman out of LaPorte. Coco bats with the left side, slightly open stance. Infield in. As Ellis rocks and fires. That one outside, 2-0.
Nice pitch there.
Yeah, Matt, but Ellis has worked that outer half all day to the left-handed hitters in this Aggie lineup. And sometimes she's gotten the call, sometimes she hadn't, but she's continued just to stick with the game plan to work away. She now faces a 2-0 count to Coco. Dribbler hits Coco Woolley in the batter's box. It'll be 2 balls, 1 strike to the freshman shortstop.
How about Coco entering this game, Tyler? In the Aggies' 12 games, she has scored 9 times, 9 of the 12 games. And in 5 of them, she scored multiple runs. So how about that out of your leadoff hitter?
Yeah, and her production really, since that Sam Houston State game has just been off the charts. It's key when she could set the pace at that top of the order. It's a fly ball. Going to stay in the infield, actually, gloved by Petty for out number 2. Ellis ran it in on the hands of Coco, and not a lot she could do about it as Petty fields that one for out number 2.
Yeah, first inning, Ellis 2 walks, and then the Trinity Cannon single. Since then, the Aggies have gotten 3 base runners, all coming in the 3rd inning. Base hit, error, walk, that's it. So Ellis has very much settled down.
In steps Haley Lee. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Foul ball off the bat of Lee. Hit her in the box, quickly 0-1. Use a little 2-out magic if you're the Aggies here. It's where this team was really successful a weekend ago. Hit, I think it was 480, Matt, with runners, or with 2 outs. Had like 20,
Almost 500.
25 hits or something like
Pretty
that.
crazy.
2
Yeah.
outs a weekend ago. The 0-1, way outside. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike to catcher Haley Lee. First start of the weekend for Haley behind the plate. She started at first on Friday against the Cowgirls. Outfield gives her a pretty big gap in left center. Center fielder Cheyenne Factor shaded over to the opposite field. There's that 1-1. Drilled up the middle and past Kylie Naomi. That's a 2-out single off the bat of Haley Lee. The Aggies may be in business here as Mackenzie Herzog steps to the plate. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Just the 3rd hit of the day for A&M. 5th hit combined between both teams.
Yeah, nice job by Haley there, just putting the bat on the ball and just driving it through the infield. And with 2 outs, Aggies are going to need to string a couple hits together here to try to retake the lead.
Herzog bats from the left side. Mackenzie 0 for 2 today, struck out and reached on an E4. Swing and a miss on a curveball to enter half. Pickoff play to first. Lee dives back in. Actually, the throw from Cottrell was right on the bag and actually hit it, I believe, Haley maybe in the left arm. She shakes it off.
Yeah, Haley has to be very careful over there.
Yeah, Cottrell has shown the ability to throw behind runners this afternoon. 0-1 to Herzog. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt can extend this inning. It'll be Morgan Smith up next.
Always got to be smart on the base pass, but especially in a game like this where runners
Have been
really are both teams. There's been a premium.
Yeah, they've been in a premium, absolutely. Herzog steps back in. Ellis will turn and fires the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Really nice pitch from Ellis. Count now 1-2 to the senior from Missouri City. That was a really nice pitch from Ellis. Matt, maybe the best changeup she's thrown today.
Yeah, she's really settled in nicely.
Lee, the runner at first. After the 2-out single. Here's the 1-2. Down in the dirt, Lee takes off. It'll be a stolen base for Haley Lee. She read that in the dirt. Off-speed pitch that was blocked up by Cottrell. But Haley Lee swipes second. 3rd stolen base of the year for the senior. Now a 2-out RBI chance for Herzog with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and that's one of those where you're looking, like you said, she read it. That's a dirt ball, and the minute she saw it hit the ground, she took off.
So 2-2 to Herzog. Swing and a miss. Ellis ran it by her on the inner half. Aggies can't take advantage of Lee's 2-out single. We remain knotted up at 1 as we go to the top of the 6th. You're listening to Aggies softball from Learfield.
All this month, Texas A&M Athletics joins the university community and the nation in celebrating Black History Month by highlighting the pioneers and contributors to the Aggie experience through sport. To learn more, log on to 12man.com/Black History Month. Join the Double Play Club today. Membership to the Double Play Club gives you an opportunity for an inside look into Aggie softball and helps to raise additional funds to provide the best possible atmosphere for softball student athletes and staff. For more information and to join, visit 12man.com/Double Play.
Welcome back to Davis Diamond. Aggies and Cowgirls tied at 1 as we go to the top of the 6th and bring you home the rest of the way with play-by-play. Turn it over to my good friend Matt Simon.
All right, thanks, Tyler. 1-1, as he said, our score. Your totals so far, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Aggies. They have left 5 on base. Oklahoma State a run on 2 hits and 1 error. They have left 6 on base. The Aggies got their single run in the first. Oklahoma State evened it up in the 4th inning. Emily Kennedy in the circle for Texas A&M. 5 innings so far, 2 hits, 1 unearned run, has walked 3 and punched out 4. She's going to have up here 5, 6, and 7 for Oklahoma State. The Aggies dodged a huge bullet in the 4th inning where Oklahoma State had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Actually ended up scoring on a dropped throw to third base on essentially a rundown attempt, if you want to call it that. But Kennedy with 1st and 2nd after the run came home, nobody out. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout to get out of that inning. And then an error set up last 5th inning, and she got 3 big outs in a row there. So she's really done a great job today for A&M.
Yeah, I thought the Cowgirls played it right, Matt. They had the sack bunt to get Naomi, their leadoff hitter, to third, and then just couldn't convert. Strikeout and a pop-up into that frame.
First pitch is inside, ball 1 to Carwile. Kennedy getting the sign. Comes inside, called strike. 1-1 the count. We got a game after this one. Still a lot left in this one, but after this, it's the Aggies and Texas Southern to wrap up the Reveille Classic. Then Texas A&M hits the road to the Judy Garman Classic in Orange County, California, on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. Slow roller to the right of the circle on 3 hops. Rylan Wiggins at second will throw her out.
Off-speed pitch that looked like Carwile was just out in front of. Hit it off the end of the bat, and like you said, Matt, 3-hopper to Rylan. She's been almost automatic at second all year long. Just a really easy play for out number 1.
There's Busby. Ground out in the second, fielder's choice in the 4th. She stands in with a 200 batting average. Change up, called strike.
Yeah, and the Aggies got away with one there, Matt. Haley Lee didn't grab that one all the way and still got the called strike. It was just such a good pitch on the off speed from Emily Kennedy to start off Haley Busby.
Sky high pop up behind second. And Rylan Wiggins tripped and fell. And then Star Ferguson was playing so deep, she had to race in, and it's going to be a bloop double off the bat of Busby.
Yeah, Matt, watching that off the bat, I thought it was just going to be a routine fly ball to center, but if you can see on the replay, if you're watching with us on SEC Network Plus, that ball just got hung up in the wind. It started straight away to Star Ferguson in center, but all she could do is just race in after it got hung up and drops in for a bloop, 1-out double. Don't see that very often.
So here's Sydney Pennington, 0 for 2 today. First pitch way up and in, ball 1. 1-1 our scores. Runner at 2 with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Again, there's just not a lot of margin for error in this game against a really good opponent. 2-0, the count. Cowgirls will open their home season on Friday. They're going to host the OSU Tulsa Invitational. They've got Stanford, DePaul, and Minnesota coming into town. (3-0) as that one's inside. On deck, Morgan Wynn. Oklahoma State's Big 12 opener, March 25th at home against Texas Tech.
Still got a long way to go to get to conference play.
And a 4-pitch walk for Pennington. Again, not maybe the worst thing in the world there.
Yeah, I don't blame Emily for being kind of picky there to Sydney Pennington. She's an experienced hitter, 0 for 2 on the day, but as the Cowgirls' career leader in games played, she's had a lot of ABs for this ball club. Sets you up with a double play opportunity. Morgan Wynn, then Chelsea Alexander went 0 for 2 today, struck out her last AB.
Ball 1 to Morgan Wynn. And time called. Cara Dill's out to talk to her pitcher in the circle.
Yeah, and if you're Cara Dill here, you just want to settle down Emily Kennedy. You know, the thing about that double to Busby, without the wind, it's just a routine fly ball to the outfield. So in the back of Emily's mind, she's probably thinking, hey, I should be sitting here with 2 outs, maybe a chance to get out of the frame. Now you got runners on first and second with 1 away. Still in a really good opportunity to roll a ground ball and get out of this inning with the bottom of the order up.
Texas A&M and Valero are proud to celebrate the unrivaled spirit of Aggie fans. As a proud Texas company and the presenting sponsor of the 12th Man Centennial, Valero stands ready to serve the Texas A&M community because we are all stronger together. Adrian Gregory, the volunteer coach, out to the outfield to talk to them. They've had some trouble out there today, specifically in center. A couple of balls out there that, one was smoke that hit the base of the wall, and then that sky-high pop-up. And then Joe to talk to the infielders behind the pitcher-catcher battery in the circle. Again, the Aggies playing with quite a bit of fire in this ball game so far, as they sit 1-1 in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, really the 3rd straight inning, Matt. The Aggies have kind of played with fire. You're right. Only gave up the run in the 4th, and then were able to work out of that jam in the 5th.
There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Runner at 2 is Haley Busby. Runner at 1 is Sydney Pennington. Off the end of the bat, foul back to the net for strike 2.
Yeah, went out in front of that pitch from Emily Kennedy there. She has just continued to work away and has really been in the best when she's been able to locate her pitches on the outer half at the knees. That's where Emily's really made her living today, and see if she goes back to it again or maybe tries to use that rise ball like she's done a couple times to get it over the hands of Morgan Wind.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Joe Evans out of the dugout pumping the fist at her freshman pitcher.
Yeah, no matter what this game turns out, Matt, whatever the result is, if you're Joe Evans, you've got to be thrilled at the competitive kind of fire that Emily Kennedy's brought in the circle. Every time she's got in a situation where maybe the Cowgirls have gotten a couple runners on with less than 2 outs, her ability to battle back with a strikeout when needed or to roll a ground ball when needed has been clutch today for the freshman out of the Woodlands.
So here's a 9-hole hitter, Chelsea Alexander, who is 0 for 2. Change up, that falls in high for ball 1. Alexander in the 3rd was robbed of a base hit on a great play by Coco Woolley and then struck out in the 4th.
Yeah, Matt, Alexander had 2 hits on Friday, moved her down to the 9-hole to Kenny Gajewski for this game. So potent hitter.
Inside corner, strike called. Kennedy, the freshman, ready with the next offering. Grounded foul, right side, past first base. And she's ahead in the count, 1-2.
Yeah, back-to-back pitches on the inner half that have just completely jammed Alexander. So a chance for Kennedy to work out of another jam, and she's gotten ahead 1-2.
Each team with 3 hits and a run. Here's the pitch, well outside. Haley Lee makes the play from going back to the screen. Count evens.
The old snow cone.
Whew. Two-two pitch. Down and did not get her to chase, and the count is full.
Yeah, not a bad pitch, though, from Emily, even though she runs it full. She's continued to try to work into these lefties, then work away and downstairs. Just didn't get Alexander to bite. So payoff pitch here. Runner's going to be going first and second here. 2 outs.
Payoff pitch coming. Inside, ball 4, missed. And that will load the bases here for the leadoff hitter, Kylie Naomi. As the preseason All-American steps in with the bases juiced and 2 outs.
Yeah, man, a big opportunity for Naomi here. She's 4 for her last 24. Just hitting .217 on the year. Bases loaded chance, 2 outs. A good hitter against a really talented young freshman pitcher.
Pitch is high, ball 1. Yeah, and this game popped out to short in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, reached on an error in the 5th, and was stranded at 3rd base. Here's the 1-0 from Emily Kennedy. And that one misses down. 2 balls and no strikes. And you can hear some groans from the Aggie fans. These are not strikes that she's throwing here. Again, I think Kaylee Young has been consistent behind the plate. That one was down and off the plate.
Yeah, now if you're Emily Kennedy, you got to work yourself back into something over the heart of the plate here.
Misses low, 3-0. Maybe being a little too fine here, and she's dug herself a big hole. In the inning, a double, a one-out bloop double that really should have been an out. It was a fly ball. And then 2 walks and a strikeout. And a 3-0 count here to the batter, Naomi. Taking all the way, it's a strike.
Yeah, now if you're Kennedy, you just got to keep battling back. Kind of been working around the edges. Now you got to continue to work like you did there with a strike on the inner half to Kylie Naomi and see if she works back on the inner half again.
Line shot, base hit to right field. 1 run is in. They are going to hold the runner at third on the RBI single by Kylie Naomi, and the Cowgirls take the lead.
Yeah, and a really nice piece of hitting by Kylie Naomi. It was a pitch on the outer half of the zone, kind of at her knees, and Naomi just flipped the bat at it and just looped it over the head of Mariana Torres and Rylan Wiggins right through the right side gap. Quick throw from Morgan Smith. Not enough to plate 2 runs there. Still bases loaded 2 away here for the Cowgirls.
It's a 3rd RBI of the year for Naomi. Strike 1 to Cheyenne Factor. Center fielder has no official at-bat today. She has walked twice and had a sac bunt. Senior steps in with the bases still juiced, and the Cowgirls have their first lead of the day. Pitch is low and inside, 1-1. Aggies got their only run of the game so far in the first inning. Oklahoma State with singles in the 4th and here in the 6th. 1-1 pitch, high chopper off the plate to second base. Rylan Wiggins will grab the ball and step on the bag at the same time for out number 3. But once again, Oklahoma State capitalizes on an opportunity, and the Cowgirls have taken the lead for the first time today. 2-1 Oklahoma State over Texas A&M. Due up for the Aggies, the 44 Farms meat of the order. Morgan Smith, Trinity Cannon, and Rylan Wiggins, 4, 5, and 6 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. That's the 44 Farms meat of the order, brought to you by the official beef of Texas A&M Athletics. We're back with that after this. This is Aggie softball from Learfield. Twelfth man this Aggie softball season is presented by T-Mobile. T-Mobile, your hometown network and official partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Bottom of the 6th, Aggies trailing for the first time today, and it is that 44 Farms meat of the order due up. It'll be Morgan Smith, Trinity Cannon, Rylan Wiggins to face Miranda Ellish, who has just settled in over the course of this game. And the 4-time All-American's first pitch is a ball. Morgan has walked twice today. Ellish, by the way, her number is 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, walked 3, punched out 7. That was her 96th pitch of the game. 2-0
Yeah,
for Morgan.
Matt, and it would be big to get the leadoff runner on here if you're Texas A&M. You know, Coco Woolley had the leadoff single in the third. It's the only time Ellis has allowed a leadoff runner to reach for the Aggies today. So hit, walk, whatever you can take if you're Morgan Smith. Get on base here and see if you can set up something for the middle of the order.
Taken all the way. It's a strike. Yeah, that third inning, that was the play. Of course, remember there was a play at the plate on the wild pitch where Woolley and Cottrell got to the plate at the same time and called out. But it created an opportunity by getting the lead batter of the inning on. Her ball inside misses.
Good pitch from Ellis, just missed on the inner half. And actually, an even better take from Morgan Smith.
The hitter's count here for the senior, who's tucked all the way in the back of the batter's box. And the strike called across the outside half of the plate.
Yeah, just caught the outer half there on the black. Ellis has done a good job, Matt, I think, all day of working the outer half to the left-handed hitters. I think I've said it a couple times. She's just done a really nice job. Even if she's gotten behind in the count, worked back to the outer half to the left-handed hitters when she's been facing these guys.
Hard ground ball, base hit through the left side. Love to see that out of the senior leading off the 6th inning.
Yeah, inside-out swing from Morgan there. It looks like she almost got jammed a bit, but was able to push it through the left side and a leadoff single for Texas A&M. And that's what you want to do if you're the Aggies. Put the pressure as you see Ellis try to jam her on the inside, but a little inside-out swing from Smith, enough to get the leadoff runner aboard with the single. 4th hit of the day for the Aggies.
Now, what's interesting here is the Aggies haven't had a lot of chances to put the ball on the ground here in a sacrifice situation. You could make that move here if you're Joe Evans with Trinity Cannon at the plate. She has the RBI single back in the 1st inning. There goes the bunt. Takes a bat back. It's a ball. And again, if you're Morgan Smith at first, there was no fielder near first base, but you got to watch Cottrell behind the plate. She loves to throw behind runners.
Yeah, and you got to realize, too, the second baseman, Petty's going to be the defender that's going to take that pickoff throw. With this alignment, if the Aggies show bunt, most likely infielders are crash in, Pennington and Wynn. It's got to be aware at first.
Joe bunt takes inside, 2-0.
Now, I like the just showing bunt here, Matt, and trying to lay the sacrifice down because it changes the eye level of Miranda Ellis. Aggies haven't had a chance really all day to use the sack bunt. So good opportunity here to make Ellis work from a different kind of angles where she's got to obviously wanting to get the out, but something different look at the plate.
So hitter's count. Tries to push that one and misses. Strike one. That was there for the taking, and the Aggies unable to get it down. 2 balls, 1 strike. By the way, in the bullpen, grad transfer Morgan Day throwing for OSU. I had to check on that because there's no way I could see those numbers from this distance.
Yeah, you had to get the telescope out to.
No, we had to go to the Illinois State, the former Illinois State SID.
Extraordinary.
Hill
yeah.
down there. All right, 2-1 count to Cannon. Showing bunt again. Takes a pitch high that time. 3-1. By the time the ball is caught by Cottrell, third baseman Pennington, it can almost reach out and touch Trinity Cannon.
And if you're Trinity Cannon here, bunt's still long with a 3-1 count. You really want to bunt this ball at first. Like Matt's saying, the third baseman Pennington, she's probably 12 feet from Cannon when the ball's delivered. So if you're Trinity, you got to try to push this to first.
Pushes this bunt, and it rolls along the chalk and then curls just foul about 6 feet up the third base line from home plate. So again, Cottrell, a nice job of picking that ball up the second it completed its rotation off the chalk.
By the millisecond. It was close. And Joe Evans, just for a second, was going to have thought might have a conversation with umpire Kayla Young behind the plate, but count now full to the sophomore third baseman.
Payoff pitch coming. Takes all the way, and it is a ball inside. 2 on, no outs for the Aggies.
Good AB from Trinity Cannon. Despite not getting the bunt down, was able to take the walk. First and second now for Rylan Wiggins, and I think this is where you will for sure see another sack bunt opportunity here from the Aggies.
Ellis and Cottrell talking in the circle. Now Pennington coming over from third to talk. This is, to be honest, I mean, even including the first inning, Tyler, this is the Aggies' best chance to put a run across in this ball game. I know they got one in that first inning, but they had 2 walks with 2 out. Well, 2 walks with a sandwiched around a couple of strikeouts, but 2 on, nobody out to start an inning. Easily the best opportunity for the Aggies. Now the entire infield's in the
You're
circle.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. I think that's the thing here too. Is this is if you can, if Ryland's able to get the bunt down, which I think what Joe Evans will probably try to do here, put second and third for the bottom of the order up. Ackerman's had 2 really good ABs, 6 through 9 today, 0 for 8. But there's been a lot of hard outs, a lot of hard ground ball outs, and all you really need is a fly ball to the outfield to tie this ball game up. So easier said than done, but if you can put the wheels in motion, it gives you an RBI chance of 1 out, and runners at second and third.
So watch the corners if you're here in the park or watching at home. Pennington at third, Wynn at first. Showing bunt, pops it straight up in the air. Catcher and first base collide in foul territory, but Cottrell able to hold on to it. And Ryland Wiggins pops out on the bunt attempt for the first out of the 6th.
Yeah, and it looked like Ryland's bat angle was just pointing down, Matt, at a pitch kind of up in the zone. She kind of punched at it and popped it up to Cottrell. It's a really nice play from Cottrell to hang on to it. As you can see on the replay if you're watching with us, Morgan Wynn comes charging in for first 2. She actually had a better play at it, but Cottrell was able to just snag it out of her teammate's glove for the first out.
So 1 out, 2 on. Aggies trail at 2-1 here in the 6th. Here's Shea. Takes a strike. Ackerman 0 for 2 today. 190 hitter on the season. Morgan Smith at second, Trinity Cannon at first. Inside, almost got her on the elbow guard. It is a ball. Count evens at 1. Ackerman fouls this one off left side, and it counts 1-2.
Yeah, Ellis ran that one in on her hands, Matt. But a good job by Ackerman to foul it off. Count 1-2 now with Mariana Torres on deck.
Aggies and Cowgirls each with 4 hits in the game. 2 errors for A&M, 1 for OSU. Oklahoma State cashed in 1 of those 2 errors. Change up, Ackerman lays off, and it is a ball inside to even the count.
Yeah, that's a good take from Shea Ackerman. It's a really nice off-speed pitch that Ellis started in the middle of the plate and ended up falling just off the lower half on the inside corner. Count now 2-2. Looks like we've got a pinch hitter possibly on deck, Matt. It'll be Macy Allen to hit in place of Mariana Torres. If Ackerman can extend this.
Ackerman fouls it back onto the net. Shea did a nice job of this on Friday against Maxwell with 2 strike foul balls to extend at bats. Gets 1 there. Hard grounder foul past third base.
Yeah, out in front of that one. Just nearly missed out from putting in play. But you're right, Matt. Shea Ackerman's ABs the last 2 or 3 games, she has really been competitive at the plate. Has not been an easy out. Has really done a good job of extending a ton of ABs.
Ellis checks her wristband for the sign, brings the 2-2. Swing and a miss, went down in the zone, struck out. Ackerman pumping her fist in the circle. That's a big second out.
Yeah, and a nice job by Miranda Ellis here to take something off of it from Ackerman. Shea had been kind of dialed into the 2 previous pitches she had fouled off. It looked like a changeup. She just swings over the top of it. And it'll be the pinch hitter, Macy Allen, here with 2 outs for the Aggies.
So Macy Allen to the plate. Sophomore out of Frisco. 353 average on the year, has 2 bombs and 3 runs driven in.
And one of those is a pinch hit home run.
It is. That was in Hunts Vegas, I believe.
Opposite field blast.
Outfield shaded to the right for OSU. Wind blowing in from left center field towards first base. And Macy takes a pitch high, 1-0. Aggies with the first 2 runners on, and since then could not get a bunt down and then struck out. Down and in, 2-0, so a hitter's count.
Yeah, and I think if you're Macy here, you're taking till you get a strike. Ellis has been in and around the zone this frame. Really, it was the Aggies' inability to get that bunt down that allowed her to kind of rally back and get back in this inning after the single and the walk to open it up.
Allen taking all the way. That is a strike on the inner half. Morgan Smith with good speed with the outfield a little deep. If Macy can get the ball through the infield, I like the Aggies' chances to tie this ball game. There is a pretty significant gap in left center field, even with the shift. That is high. 3-1. Katie Dack has now stepped in on deck for Texas A&M if the Aggies can get to her. Oh man, Allen took a pitch right down Broadway there to fill up the count, 3-2.
Yeah, maybe one Ellis would like to have back. Luckily, Macy Allen kept the bat on her shoulder for the Cowgirls and counting out full to the pinch hitter.
She went down in the zone to get Ackerman with 2 strikes. Let's see what she does here with Allen. Runners will be moving with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. That's where she went. Macy let it go. It's ball 4.
Yeah, another drop ball from Ellis that Allen didn't chase. Really nice patient AB from the sophomore. So now a bases loaded, pinch hit RBI opportunity here for Katie Dack. Has 1 grand slam on the year, correct, Matt? Was it a 3-run home run?
You know, I don't remember seeing it. That doesn't mean she didn't have one.
I believe it was a 3-run home run from Huntsville a couple weeks ago. But if you're Katie Dack here, you got to be able to take a good pitch. You don't want to swing away. She's prone to do that.
Cowgirl coaches will take a chance to go out and talk to their players as the Aggie coach is talking over here. So Katie Dack, the freshman out of Parker, Colorado. What a weekend she had last week. She had 385 with 10 runs driven in. That is the Sam Houston game and then the tournament. On Friday, Katie 0 for 2 in the game against Maxwell with a pair of strikeouts and a walk. So you could say, I'm not necessarily trying to be dramatic here, but you might say that this is the biggest at-bat of her young career in Texas A&M.
I think it's the most pressure-packed.
Yeah.
But a really good opportunity. And this is one of the things that the coaching staff told us preseason is we're going to give Katie Dack some opportunities to hit in pressure-filled situations. We're going to continue to give her chances, whether she's in the starting lineup in a pinch hit role. It's a card we can play. So she'll step in here and hit the 9th spot for Star Ferguson. Mariana Torres also re-enters to run at first base after that Macy Allen walk. So tying run at second, go ahead, run at tying run at third, go ahead and run at second base in the form of Trinity Cannon.
Cowgirl outfield is shaded pretty hard to the right. They're each a good 3 strides to the right of those normal positions. Middle infielder's back on the lip of the grass. Here comes the first pitch to Dack. She takes a strike across the inside black. Swing and a miss, elevated it up on her eye level there and swung under it. And Ellis in the count 0-2. Cowgirls in the 7th have 3, 4, and 5 due up. Katie calling time. She'd been calling it for a while, and Ellis had started her stride, but Kaylee Young just realized that she was calling time and granted it. Katie down in the count here. Swing and a miss. Aggies leave them loaded onto the bottom half of inning number 6. Or actually, no, we're going to the 7th. Oklahoma State leads it 2-1. This is Aggie softball from Learfield. Integ, the official printer of Texas A&M Athletics, provides customer solutions for all your game time promotional products, wearables, signs, print, and direct mail needs, all within one team of skilled players. Learn more about their winning culture and playbook of services at integdoes.com. Gig 'em Aggies. Matt and Tyler with you as we head to the 7th inning. Well-ranked Oklahoma State leading it 2-1. 4 hits for each team. Cowgirls have left 9. The Aggies have left 8. Oklahoma State today with runners in scoring position 1 for 12. The Aggies 1 for 9. And it's going to be 3, 4, and 5. Cottrell, Petty, and Carwile due up to face Emily Kennedy, who frankly has been really, really impressive in the circle for A&M. Change up, called strike to the 3-hole hitter Cottrell. Cottrell, we told you, a transfer from the University of Florida. Hit against Texas A&M over the weekend in Gainesville last May. This pitch inside and high, 1-1. That was a very painful weekend for Aggie fans as Florida walked off A&M twice in that 3-game set. Cottrell hit the walk-off home run in the final game of the regular season. So familiar with Texas A&M. The Aggies, of course, a lot of tape on her. Fouls this one back. 1-2. She is looking, by the way, to extend a 4-game hit streak.
Probably been the most aggressive hitter in the Cowgirl order today. She is, except for this AB, came up swinging in her first 3 plate appearances.
Pitch is down. Emily Kennedy, that is right about 120 pitches in this ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 3, went up in the zone and got Cottrell to chase. Second strikeout of the game of Cottrell, and for Emily, that is going to be 6 in the ball game.
Yeah, and all those have came since the 4th inning, Matt. Tell you what, if you're Joe Evans and Cara Dill, you've got to be thrilled with the performance that Emily Kennedy's given you in the circle. You know, really, besides just the 1 run in the 4th and the leadoff single that came around to score, and that 1-out double that ended up allowing the Cowgirls to play to run as that one catches the outer half for a strike. You've got to be thrilled with what she's given you in the circle, and she's worked around 5 walks too.
And some defensive miscues. The thing that's impressed me, I think, the most out of her in the times I've watched her pitch in this season is her composure, her demeanor. She doesn't carry herself like a freshman. We were talking about this when they were in Huntsville. As next pitch to Petty is swung on and missed, and the count's 0-2. I'm over twice her age, and I would have been throwing stuff because I mean, the frustration.
Well, we were
level,
throwing stuff because we couldn't go get a milkshake.
That is true.
We were
yeah.
a little disappointed in that part of our trip.
Absolutely true.
But my demeanor for Emily is stoic. There's not a lot of emotion.
This is high, 1-2, but she's not letting things bother her. Umpire calls,
base
hits, or an error in the field behind her. She just rolls along. She just gets up there and does her thing, and it's really fun to watch.
No, and I think you're going to continue to see her grow in this role as a starting pitcher.
This is outside.
Counts
she's 2-2.
I think that's the thing is, originally we all thought, man, she's got a ton of velocity. She's got some really good movement. What kind of situation can she be, used in? Can she be a kind of like a full-time starter, quote unquote? And she has really shown in the first 3 weekends of the year the ability she has to be a starter in this kind of pitching staff that the Aggies have.
Petty fouls a check swing back to the screen. Where's number 11? She was coached in high school by Megan Gibson Lofton, Aggie Hall of Famer. National championship, pitched the Aggies to the national championship finals, and that's the reason she wears that number 11.
Pretty big shoes.
Yeah. 2 pitch, popped up, foul territory in front of the Aggie dugout. Racing over is Haley Lee, trying to make a basket catch as she slides into the front of the dugout, and it will fall foul. Good hustle. And Petty's still alive.
Yeah, you can tell Haley wanted that after the reaction and just missed that. She almost kind of tried to do the did the old reach out with the glove and just barely missed it.
She was laughing as she came back to home plate and joked with the home plate umpire as she sat back down. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball center. Star Ferguson backing up on it at the track. Makes the catch up against the wall underneath the flags for a loud out number 2.
Yeah, second hard hit ball of the day by Carly Petty. And luckily the wind kept that one in the ballpark. Petty hit that into the teeth of the wind coming out of right center, and Ferguson able to track it down one step of the wall for out number 2.
2 down, 2-1 Oklahoma State in the 7th. Here's Caitlin Carwile. 1 for 3 in the game with the line drive double off the base of the wall in center. That came in the 4th. Aggies will have the top of the order due up in the 7th. And that's a strike call to Carwile. Let's see if they can get back in the dugout with that same score.
Tell you what, Matt, I think for Emily Kennedy today that I feel like the biggest takeaway I've had is her first pitch strikes, her ability to get ahead. Just feels like almost every hitter she's been able to throw a first pitch strike.
There's a second pitch strike there. I like those even better.
Yeah, I like those even better. I really like the
Yeah.
third pitch strikes myself. Those it's usually be doing 3 in a row, but that's I think that's one of the things she's battled early on in her career is getting ahead of hitters. I think she's just done a really phenomenal job of that today.
0-2 pitch. Fly ball into left. Right at Ackerman. And that's a nice inning for Emily Kennedy and Texas A&M in the 7th inning. Oklahoma State goes 1-2-3. The Aggies need some magic. They trail it 2-1. Final at bat coming up when we come back. This is Texas A&M softball from Learfield. Aggie fans, whether you want to sit behind home plate or score a bird's eye view, StubHub is the best place to grab your Texas A&M tickets. StubHub is the official ticketing partner of Texas A&M Athletics. StubHub, be there. Heading to the 7th, the bottom of the 7th, that is. Final at bat for the Aggies against the 4-time All-American Miranda Ellis. They trail it 2-1. It's the top of the order, though. Coco Woolley, Haley Lee, Mackenzie Herzog. Tyler, you had a note before the game where 1 through 5 in the lineup was 1 for or 0 for on the
It's 0 for on the
Friday.
weekend, yeah, 0 for 15.
They have not gotten a ton of hits in this game, but they have caused a lot of traffic as Coco takes a pitch for a strike. She's 1 for 3. Haley is 1 for 2 with a walk. Mackenzie reached on an error, and then Morgan with 2 walks and a base hit. So much better from the top of the order today.
Yeah, more of an on-base presence for sure. Just 0 for 15 with that 1 walk on Friday.
This pitch bends away from the left-handed hitter and low. 1-1 to Coco. Ellis, 128 pitches now, 6 innings, 4 hits, a run, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. Corners in for OSU. Coco swings and misses at that one. As she ran up to it, counts 1-2.
Yeah, and Ellis took a little bit off that, dropped the velocity down to 61 on that off-speed pitch. Puts Coco in a hole 1-2. Done that a couple times today, the freshman.
Outfield shaded in and to the left, as you usually see to the slappers. And swing and a miss, strike 3.
Went back to the off-speed, did Ellis. Picks up her 10th K of the afternoon. It's an off-speed pitch that actually was at the belt, but Coco couldn't stay back and on it and strikes out for the second time today.
It's easily a new Oklahoma State career high for Ellis. Here's Haley Lee. Takes first pitch inside. Ellis will not get to her career high, which came at Oregon against Portland State. She punched out 16. Her season high was against Northwestern. She punched out 8 in a victory over the Wildcats last weekend. 1-0 the count to the All-American Haley Lee. Popped up foul coming back to us, and it'll make it into the stands.
And you can keep that foul ball courtesy up with Dixie Chicken.
See if the Aggies can get one of their big sticks to deliver a big one today. This one up and in. 2-1 the count to Haley Lee.
Yeah, now in a hitter's count, Matt. And Haley singled her last debut. Like her to do the same thing. Was just able to take a pitch in the outer half and reached on a single to right field. See if she can do the same thing and then set the table for Herzog, Smith, and Cannon.
Hitting at .588 on the year. 2 home runs, 12 runs driven in. Foul ball right side. It'll make it on the net right in front of our grounds crew down that first base line. I haven't done this all year. I usually give them a shout out to see if they're paying attention, but I don't think they bring their radio anymore. So I'll have to have a little talk with them about that.
Yeah, I had to see if they've got the. Maybe they're listening on the 12th Man mobile app, you know.
They might be. Might have to give
The
them credit.
technologically advanced field crew.
Just give them a
we've got
chance
here.
for the delay to get to them there. 2-2 the count to Haley. Ground ball at third, backhanded on top the bag by Pennington, and she'll throw her out.
Yeah, nice play by Cindy Pennington. Wasn't hit hard off the bat of Haley Lee, but it was an in-between hop that she had to dive for down the third baseline, was able to corral it and throw across for out number 2.
So with 2 outs, it's up to Mackenzie Herzog, 0 for 3 today.
Now batting for your Aggies, designated player number 24, Mackenzie Herzog.
And on the weekend, Mackenzie 0 for 6. Outfield can relax a little bit straight away out there. Left-handed hitter, strike 1 on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, and if you're Herzog here, you can't worry about the 0 for 6 on the weekend. You know, your goal right here is to get on base, whether it's walk, reach on an error, base hit. You really want to put a competitive AB together. Give your lineup a chance to string this game along.
Same pitch, strike 2. Ellis got her swinging on a, not quite a curveball, but something that bent into the
Look,
left-handed
yeah.
batter. You know, let's see if she goes back there with 2 strikes.
She has gone off speed a ton today to the lefties, in this case 0-2, 1-2. See if she goes back to it again.
Ellis ready, and the 0-2 pitch. Outside and swung on and missed. And that will do it as 12th ranked Oklahoma State, behind a complete game by Miranda Ellis, defeats your Aggies 2-1, our final score. We have another game coming up in a little while, but our post-game show for this one is coming up next. This is Aggie softball from Learfield. Pool Guy offers complete swimming pool service and maintenance with the best quality and price match guarantee. The pool store by the Pool Guy is located on William D. Fitch next to HEB and proud to be Aggie owned and operated. Final score.